Hello and welcome to our tutorial video on how to use the World Languages Tracker and how that aligns to the rubric. And that's exactly what we're going to be talking about today. But before we get into how to use the tracker and the rubric, what I first want to point your attention to is this website, which is tfahumanities.weebly.com/. In this website, you will be directed to a plethora of humanities websites or resources that are specific to world languages, ELA, and social studies. And you will also be able to find the trackers, the rubrics, and many other resources there. So I definitely recommend checking out that website. Now, let's talk about the overlay of what this tracker looks like and the most important things to look at. First and foremost, what I want to talk about are the 4 domains within a world language classroom, those being listening, reading, writing, and speaking. And you can find those highlighted in yellow in this portion of the tracker, in these 4 columns. This is important because if you look at our foreign language rubric, as I'm showing right here, you see the 4 different domains up here: listening, reading, writing, and speaking. And as you guys already know, there are different levels. So you can go from novice low all the way to intermediate low and even advanced. But for this, mostly the purposes are for Spanish 1 and 2, and that's what we're going to focus on in this video. So, for example, within the listening domain, what you can see is that students can vary on a range anywhere from novice low, that being 1, all the way up to intermediate low, and that would be a 4. And that's exactly what the purpose of this tracker is for. What we're going to do is we're going to enter in scores from a 0 to 4 scale, and you can enter in your data here. So, we're going to pretend that we have students in our first class, that's class A, and I'm going to enter in a few of my actual students' names, some of my favorite ones. And cannot forget Tavius. So we've got Don Tavius, Cortavius, Clint-Tavius, and Tavius. And so what we're going to do is we're going to pretend that we have a data set for them. We've just given them diagnostic, and they are performing at such rates right now. It's not looking too hot. I guess they're okay writers, and they have some experience. Actually, probably have the least experience speaking. So, and what I'm doing right now is I'm just entering in different numbers. Please notice that you can be anywhere between, 1 to 2. You can enter in 1.5 if there's somewhere in between that. That's important to note. And so I'm just entering in data sets for this. And so let's say, so we've entered in a lot of the data for our first class. Now, the question might be, okay, well, yeah, we've entered it in for our first class, and our diagnostic data is at a 0.72, which means that our kids are somewhere between, right now, at a performing about a novice low level. What we want to do to enter in data for class 2 is we want to scroll down and we want to hit this plus tab. Now, it's incredibly important. You see that I've scrolled down and there's this plus tab right here. You're going to click that, and that's going to open up class 2, and you'll do that for class 2, 3, and 4. So let's enter in Jose, and let's enter in some data for him. Let's just say he's 1 across the board. And we're going to scroll back up, and you'll see that our diagnostic data now changed to an overall of 0.79. So the next thing that we want to do, so this is all of our diagnostic data. Let's say the next time we give our unit exam, or the next time we give an assessment, and we're measuring the different domains within world languages, we're going to hit this plus tab on the column side. And what that does is it opens up our next set of data within each domain. So let's pretend that Don Tavius, now I've already entered some data in Don Tavius. They perform at these rates, and I've measured it, and they've done a lot better on this exam. And once again, for world languages, what we want our students to be hitting at the end of, we want to make sure that we're hitting the goals at the end of the year. And so the way we can check if we're on part of that is hitting this summary tab. And on this summary tab, you'll see currently overall the diagnostic was a 0.79. The current average is a 3.48. And their growth to date is 2.69. You've made amazing growth throughout the year, and you know that you're on track to really closing the achievement gap within world languages context. The last thing that I want to point your attention to are the cells with different formulas in them. So anytime you see one of these blue, gray, or colored cells, make sure if you look up here, you'll see a different formula. Don't touch that. Make sure that you never edit that. Just scroll over. And you always want to enter the data into the white cells. And as you're wrapping up, go ahead and enter in your name, David, hit file and save, and then you're ready to go. And that is how you track and measure data in the world languages context. Thank you.